I am a huge fan of the Empire, if you couldn't already tell by my name. So it goes without saying that I love this set. And why tell you how much I love this set when I can show you? Yeah, it goes without saying that I love this set. But instead of just building up a ton of regular TIE fighters, why not have some fun with this and build the ultimate TIE fighter fleet? This is the original TIE fighter set, including 3 minifigures with a TIE fighter pilot, stormtrooper, and a protocol droid. P.S. If you're looking to upgrade any of these minifigures, make sure to check the pinned comment. Now, taking a look at the TIE Fighter build, it's a very sleek look for the TIE Fighter and is downscaled from past versions of the TIE, which I personally love. I'll be keeping one regular TIE Fighter in our fleet so we have something to compare to all of the other TIE Fighters we're going to be building. Now, fun fact, if you swap the wings for the regular TIE Fighter and TIE Bomber, you get Darth Vader's TIE Advanced and a TIE Brute from Solo: A Star Wars Story. Now, what's really surprising is just how accurate these two models look with just a simple wing swap. I might even keep these how they are after I'm done with this video because of how great they look. Especially the TIE Advanced. I mean, the TIE Brute looks okay, but it's a little off, while Vader's TIE Advanced looks like a perfectly refined model. You can also put Vader on top of his TIE Fighter, just like we see in Star Wars Rebels when he's landing at the Sith Temple. But I think it's time to get a little bit more creative with our TIE Fighters. So now, using a TIE Fighter and random parts from my collection, I'm going to attempt to create a small mock based on EA's Star Wars Battlefront 1. And here's some footage to show you what exactly we're going to be creating. It is a TIE Fighter crash on the planet Sullust in the Sulfur Fields. So I have some awesome parts that I think I definitely want to use for this mock. And then I'm going to be building it on this nice light gray base plate. So I want the TIE Fighter wreck to go around this area. And then in the back over here, I want to have some big rock formations. And then somewhere in the rock formations or near the rock formations, I want to maybe build a small little structure, like a balcony or something, like a small Imperial structure, just to kind of give the mock a little more character. So I'm going to get building. Alright, so I think I'm pretty close to finishing the TIE Fighter segment of this build. You can see I put some parts over there because I'm about to get ready to build that part up. But we put some random like rock structures and stuff in here. Then I had to put this little structure here and a structure back there to support the TIE Fighter so it stays in that position that it's crashed in. And you can see we took part of the wing out to make it accurate to the picture. And I think that looks so cool, especially on this side. It looks really cool, like a, rundown TIE Fighter. And then we did the same thing for this wing on that side and down there because we need the illusion that that wing is buried in the kind of rock and dirt. And then, yeah, you can see this is positioned very cool. I love how this part turned out. I cannot wait to start on the rest of the mock. I completed the TIE Fighter portion of this build. I added in these different parts to symbolize the flames. I also put a few down there and then one over here. This is supposed to be like a little piece of lava, and then this is like molten rock around it. That's why it's black. And I think this TIE Fighter wreckage looks really nice. And then over there, I built a small little Imperial base. So you can see on the top, we have a shock trooper with an E-Web blaster. And I think the exterior, it looks pretty decent over here, but it kind of falls short over here. I ran out of good parts for this set, honestly. I wish I had more of these rock parts. That would make it much easier. But I didn't want to focus too much on the base because this is supposed to be primarily about the TIE Fighter. It's a TIE Fighter video. But just to show you the interior of the base real quick for fun, we have a jetpack right there. This is the armory down here, so there's some weapons, a stormtrooper helmet. Right here we have like a control center with a stormtrooper. It's actually a magma stormtrooper. That's a Palpatine hologram and some controls. And then over here we have a little Bacta tank where a stormtrooper is resting. He's actually sleeping, even though his eyes are technically open. And then yeah, the shock trooper I already showed you. I think this is a pretty cool interior. It's just a little something extra I wanted to add to the build that's primarily about the TIE Fighter. We have some very cool TIE Fighter builds, but we're not done yet. And next up we have the TIE Interceptor, which we can spin around with this little stand that I made using a 4+ set piece. And we also have the 2 minifigures on the little display stand, so it looks kind of like a UCS set, which I absolutely love to display it like that. Now this is a little bit dusty because I did build this back in May when the set came out, but regardless, the TIE Interceptor is definitely one of my favorite TIE Fighter models LEGO has ever made. Now, I think I'm going to just build up a few regular TIE Fighters, and then we'll get back to the more crazy alternate builds later, because I want a few more of these regular guys to add to the army. I just finished building another regular TIE Fighter, and the minifigures are right there. Perfect minifig selection, by the way, but I'm kind of sick of building this. This is a repetitive build, so I'm going to find an alternate build on YouTube or something, and we're going to build something unique. So I think I'm going to turn one of these sets into a TIE Striker. Now, I already have like the official LEGO version of the TIE Striker, but it's kind of dusty. I bought it used off eBay, and I would like to make one out of new parts. So that's what we're going to do with this one. Alright, so instead of creating the TIE Striker, I decided to go for a different model because the TIE Striker was, okay, it was kind of difficult, and I already have the official LEGO one. So instead, I made the TIE Outlander from The Mandalorian. Now, obviously, as you can see, it doesn't look very pretty when it's in this mode, but this is not the mode I'm going to display it in. Let me show you. The special feature of the TIE Outlander, both in canon and in LEGO, you can actually fold its wings so it can land, unlike your usual TIE Fighter, which needs a Star Destroyer or other Imperial capital ship to land. As you can see there, it can land perfectly fine all on its own on any planet's surface or anything, so that is very cool, and I just love that look because it's something super unique that we haven't gotten in any other Star Wars show or media, really. So I honestly just love that. That wing just fell off. It's not the best connection on that ball joint piece, but super cool design. Found it somewhere on YouTube a few days ago, and I just thought I'd build it for this video. So it's definitely going to be a great addition to the collection. If you want to spend $40 for this thing, it's not too bad for the price. Plus, you also get the 3 minifigures with the Stormtrooper, TIE Pilot, and of course the Protocol Droid. Next, I'm going to be trying to make Iden Versio's TIE Fighter, which it's basically just a regular TIE Fighter, but on the connecting point in between the cockpit and the right wing, there is a few strips of red. So I'm going to try to add just some red to a regular TIE Fighter. I'm going to build this TIE Fighter up, add some red to it, and then we'll also get some minifigures going. And I think this is going to be a great way to kind of change up the army and the fleet of TIE Fighters and make it a little bit more unique. So I finished building up the TIE Fighter. Now all we have to do is replace some of the parts on that side with red counterparts. So I'm hoping that I have those parts in my collection, because if I don't, I'm gonna have to make do with what I have, and it probably won't look great. But we'll see. Alright, so I color swapped some pieces and added some different kind of parts to this. So you can see I have some maroon, I have a maroon plate under that, and then there's a maroon tile over that, so it looks a little bit smoother than on this side of the TIE Fighter, where there's this more studded look, and on this side it's tiled off. And then I also put this kind of rounded piece right there. It's not exactly the same piece as that, but I think it's rounded enough where it doesn't look too bad or out of place, and it sticks out just enough for you to notice it. And then down there I have a kind of LED red looking piece. Just thought it looked nice there. Couldn't really find a maroon piece for that. So yeah, I think this looks pretty decent, but let's get these minifigures out of here and replace them with some actual accurate minifigures that LEGO would probably include in this set. 2 isn't enough. I'd say we should add some sort of droid. Maybe this guy could work pretty well. That's a good looking set to me. Definitely a nice inclusion to the army. It's not really a crazy different TIE Fighter variant, but I think it's cool for Iden Versio to get her very own TIE Fighter in my collection, because this is a ship you can actually fly in Battlefront 2, and I'm a huge Battlefront 2 fan. That's EA's Battlefront 2, by the way. And now we're going to deck out our different TIE Fighters with better minifigure selections depending on the TIE variant that we built it as. So, for the TIE Advanced, we have Ahsoka Tano. Kanan Jarrus, who just lost his eyesight. And of course, Darth Vader, because it is his TIE Fighter. And I think that is the perfect minifigure selection for this set. Now, if I had a Season 1 through Season 2 Ezra, I'd definitely be using that minifigure as well. But I do not, so this is what I had to make do with. And obviously, the Ahsoka Tano minifigure isn't really accurate because that's for, closer to the Mandalorian and Ahsoka show time period. But it's the best I have in my collection. And I think this set would be pretty promising if it was released as a standalone set. For the TIE Outlander, we have a few really awesome minifigures with IG-37, Moff Gideon with that new Dark Trooper piece, and 2 Death Troopers to finally make their return in 2024. Now, perhaps the set could use an extra Stormtrooper or something of the likes, but I think if you add a Stormtrooper in there, it's kind of weird because you have more Death Troopers than Stormtroopers. I don't know. It just seems a little awkward to me, but maybe LEGO would add it in a Stormtrooper or another character from the heroes side, but regardless, I think that minifigure selection is still pretty solid with us getting the return of Moff Gideon, Death Troopers, and even the IG unit. And obviously this model looks very, very cool as well, especially in its landed form. Something fun you can do with Moff Gideon is you can place him on top of the TIE Fighter like he was at the end of Mandalorian Season 1. That looks pretty dang cool to me. Next up, we have the TIE Brute, and the TIE Brute actually only appears in the Solo movie, which is why you will see some minifigures from the Solo movie in this lineup, with a TIE Bomber pilot, Stormtrooper, a Mimban officer, a Mimban trooper / Mud Trooper, and a Mimban Stormtrooper. I think a lot of people would be hyped for these guys making a return, and this would be a bigger TIE Fighter set, similar to the size of the TIE Bomber, presumably. So I think including more minifigures than usual in a small ship set would be the way to go for this TIE Fighter. And for Iden Versio's TIE Fighter, which again just has that one difference right there with a few different maroon colored bricks, we have the same minifigure selection I showed before with the Astromech Droid, Del, and Iden Versio, but I also added in general Lando Calrissian because he does show up in the Battlefront 2 campaign, and he talks to Iden Versio when they change sides from the Empire to the Rebellion, so I think he's a nice inclusion and a nice minifigure to return, especially with how expensive he's getting nowadays. And then finally, we have a regular TIE Fighter and a TIE Interceptor, which have the exact same minifigure selection that LEGO does because, well, they're the only sets on this list that are actually created by LEGO with their minifigure selections set in stone. And here is our TIE Fighter fleet in all of its glory. Now, there are a few sealed sets left for the TIE Fighter, 6 of them to be exact. I only used 4 extra ones for this video, along with the TIE Bomber and TIE Interceptor sets, because I really ran out of TIE Fighters to try to create, and I have no idea what else I would have created. Plus, I kind of want to keep some of them sealed for investment purposes. But with that being said, look at all of these amazing TIE Fighters recreated. I mean, I think my favorite one is probably going to be the huge mock we made, but we had some extra minifigures left over from the TIE Fighter sets we opened with some Stormtroopers, pilots, and those protocol droids, which I'm probably going to have to sell because I don't need 10 more of those protocol droids. I just don't. But overall, we have 7 different builds that we created, so I'm pretty happy with our fleet, and I only built one TIE Fighter, one regular TIE Fighter that is, because the rest of them aren't going to fit on this desk and aren't really going to work for this video. So just imagine that I have 7 regular TIE Fighters sitting here because that's probably what I'm going to build the rest up to be if I don't save a few of them for investment purposes. But make sure to tell me what you all think of this amazing TIE Fighter fleet in the comments below. There are a ton of awesome minifigures, parts, and techniques used by other mock builders on YouTube that I got the designs from, like the TIE Outlander. Some of these sets I did actually just go completely myself with, like Iden Versio's TIE Fighter, which isn't that hard because you just color shop a few parts. I'm not a professional mock builder, but I am trying to get more into these creative videos, so tell me all what you think of these videos where I take official sets and I turn them into something different. I am personally really love these types of videos now with the Dark Trooper attack set video I did last week and now this video, and I have much more planned, don't worry. So, with that being said, that is going to be it for my TIE Fighter fleet. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and comment down below what you all think of this TIE Fighter fleet, and how many TIE Fighters do you have in your collection? Make sure to let me know. And which TIE Fighter set is your favorite? Is it the 2021 TIE Fighter, like me? This is my favorite. Or maybe it might be the one from the Solo movie, or maybe an older one. Make sure to tell me in the comments below. I'll be hearting and reading every single comment in the comment section. So hopefully this video doesn't blow up, because then I'll be spending a lot of time doing that. Anyway, with that being said, hope you all enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all in the next video. Have an amazing day. Peace out.